All Marshall County Fiscal Court to order, April 19th, 2016. The first item on the agenda, guest, would be Josh Tubbs.
Thank you, Judge. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate the community and the fiscal court on the American Stave Company announcement on their project locating here in Marshall County. We're excited to see that mature over the next few months and hope to get a little more detail from the company. The reason I'm on the agenda today, there's a few things, Judge, and a couple of housekeeping things and related to what I'm going to ask you guys for right now. We have a new project that's interested in locating in an existing facility in Marshall County. This project is about a $6.3 million capital investment in our community. It's about 150 jobs with an average wage of around $20 an hour. They are making application to the KEDFA board for their incentives, which will go for approval on the 28th of April. Of course, part of that package is to ask for local participation. Last night I met with presented to the Benton City Council. They committed their 0.5%. I'm here today to ask for the fiscal court's commitment of 0.5% of the occupational tax for the 150 jobs over a 15-year period. And then that will make a total of 1% local contribution for the incentive package application.
Good. Any questions?
I move that we put the 0.5% in.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. The next thing that I want to address with you guys, we have a resolution prepared. I believe it's in your all's packets. And Judge, that resolution is for, it's related to this project. It would allow the county to make application for CDBG funds for economic development. And the resolution is basically to allow Opportunity Marshall, Inc., our nonprofit economic development cooperative, to manage the funds through an equipment leasing program. I've got Brad Davis here with me, and I would, if you guys have questions for Brad or I, either one. Do you have that resolution?
We do.
Judge? Okay. If you want to read that, that's fine.
Each one of you have a copy of it. I know we talked earlier this week, the CDBG grant, the economic development, if another project were to come up through economic development, you could still get another CDBG grant.
Yeah, I don't think that the CDBG, the economic development projects, are limited to one. Is that correct? Yeah.
Right.
Basically, it's limited to, the only limit is it's $1 million per round. So if another project came up, you could apply for additional funding. And it also doesn't limit you if you wanted to apply for CDBG funds in a different area, because there's also funds available in housing and community projects and public facilities and stuff. So it doesn't limit you that way either.
Good. Somebody got any questions?
Read it or approve, just approve the resolution?
We can read the.
Do we need to vote on this?
Yes,
today?
there's a resolution that's in your all's packet, and if you guys want to read that for the record, and then vote to approve that. That's
the. Do we know how many other counties have already approved? I know there's some others that.
Yeah, this process is pretty standard with other economic development corporations. This actually is a way that they have funded continued efforts in programming. So, yeah, it's I know surrounding counties have done similar projects.
I'll read it. Resolution of Morris County Fiscal Court. In the meeting of the Morris County Fiscal Court, the members approved, wait a minute, that's the, approved the following resolution supporting the submission of application, Community Development Block Grant Funds to assist Opportunity Marshall Incorporated in the recruitment efforts for an industrial prospect. Whereas the Marshall County Fiscal Court endeavors to support all efforts to improve the social and physical environment of Marshall County. Whereas the Marshall County Fiscal Court wishes to support efforts to improve economic opportunities for the citizens of Marshall County. Now therefore be it resolved, the Marshall County Fiscal Court hereby approves the submittal of application for the Community Development Block Grant Funds to assist in an economic development project within Marshall County. So that's the resolution.
I move we approve the resolution.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. The other item that I have to address, there's an updated interlocal agreement that you all have. There's an existing interlocal agreement with the Purchase Regional Park Board. The agreement, the board had done some updating to the agreement and kind of cleaned it up a little bit. And so Brad is here to kind of explain that process.
Thanks, John. Yeah, what the Regional Park Board had done is taken a look at the original interlocal, I think, was done in 2000 or 2001. And there was some language in there that they wanted to clean up. For example, there was a property description in the original interlocal that it wasn't applicable anymore. There was additional property added after, so it wasn't correct. So we just took the board took that property description out. Another thing was the way the original interlocal read. Each of the 8 counties have a board member and appoint a board member. But the way the original interlocal read, all 8 judges had to agree on each appointment. And so we basically changed that where Marshall County has an appointment, and they make their own appointments, and there wouldn't be any confusion on that language. Another item was there was no reference to dissolution if the authority was ever dissolved. So we just put a simple statement in there that we would follow I forget which KRS it is, but the appropriate KRS if it was ever decided to dissolve the authority. And then there were several references to PACRO because PACRO provided some of the original funding and stuff, and we just kind of took that out. So it's just a simpler, cleaner document now and stuff. And so we're going to all 8 of the counties to get it approved. I think y'all are the 5th or 6th one that's read it so far. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about that or about the park board itself. So.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Davis? All right. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Entertain a motion to approve the interlocal agreement.
Make that motion, Judge.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Judge, I have a support letter for you to sign for the project.
All right. Next on the agenda under correspondence, a thank you letter from Mitchell Hopgood's family. Thank you so much for your kind expression of sympathy. Mitchell would have been overwhelmed by outpouring of love and kindness, and that's from the family of Mitchell Hopgood. The other item under correspondence is thank you from the family of Kenneth Counts. That's Casey Counts' father. Dear Fiscal Court, thank you for the flowers that were sent to the passing of my father. My father was thankful I had a job at a place with so many great people The support shown to me during his 14 months battle with brain cancer has been unbelievable. Thank you from Casey Counts. The other item under correspondence is a letter of resignation from Leslie Landers. This is Marshall County Sanitation District Number 1, effective March 30th, 2016. I will no longer serve on the Marshall County Sanitation District Number 1 Board of Directors. In addition, after that date, I will no longer be responsible as a treatment plant operator. Sincerely yours, Les Landers. We had 2 operators out at that district, so that still gives us one more operator that's out there.
Les, it's a health issue with him.
Yeah. I talked to Mike and somebody like Les that's put in well over 20 years at that district, no retirement, no benefits. Very few individuals can you find that do something like that for their community. So we've got, we'll go on the new business. I've got an appointment for that board. They did, Mike had contacted me. They identified somebody in their district, so they've got somebody else to appoint. But we'll move on. Correspondence, MediaCom. I'm just going to read this to you. Your judge executives, on or around April 22nd, 2016, MediaCom will move Sundance from the Movies and Music Digital Plus tier, and BBC America HD from the Kids and Variety Digital Plus tier to our family TV lineup. In addition to this move, MediaCom will also be adding RFD HD to channel 793 on our HD family TV lineup. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Pretty exciting news.
Next on the agenda is under correspondence, this is from the Finance and Administration Cabinet, Department of Revenue, Office of Property Valuation, Administration Support Branch. This amount, this is yearly in doing our budgets. This year, they're based on the estimated assessment of property subject to county tax as of January 1, 2016, $75,700 should be appropriated to the Property Valuation Administration Office. This estimated appropriation represents a 1% increase in the amount appropriated in 2015. Upon certification of the 2016 assessment, you will be notified of all necessary adjustments to the appropriations. This is just to let you know, I think last year was 78,000.
Yeah, it's been 78.5 for the past several years. It says there was a 1% increase. It's not gone, it's actually went down at our point, at our cost. But used to, that was on there for a requirement, was $2,800 for phone service, and we already pay that, so we don't have to pay that to the state also.
And I'll read the reference for the media. This is the reference, estimated county statutory obligations to property valuation administrators for fiscal year 2016-2017. Next, under correspondence, refuse board resignation. Got a resignation letter from Charles Edwards. Judge Neal, I appreciate that Fiscal Court give me the opportunity to serve on the refuse board, but with much regret, my health will not allow me to continue to serve our community effectively. I'm writing to notify you that I'm resigning as a board member on the Marshall County Refuse Board. My resignation will be effective immediately. I appreciate the time I was allowed on the board. If I can assist with the transition, please let me know. Sincerely, Charles Edwards. I talked to Danny Newcomb, who's the chair of the board. He did bring a name to me, Keith Greer, for Charlie's replacement. And I know the family. I know Keith.
Was it
I'm
Keith or
sorry.
Dwight?
I'm sorry, it's Dwight. Yeah.
It's Dwight, I thought.
Keith is his dad, yeah. And Dwight, from my position, I think it's a good pick for an individual. But I know that we had expressed, I know some other commissioners had expressed, trying to get equal representation throughout the county as far as on the boards, individuals in the community that are in the districts. I've talked to Dwight. He understands that, and I know that District 3 doesn't have any representation on that board. And Marvin Stokes is a name that was given to me from District 3. Does anybody have any questions or concerns with the two names? I have.
I have no problem with either one of those.
I think I was just, I guess the suggestion or the recommendation of the board, they know, I guess, kind of what they need, and Dwight certainly is a heavy equipment truck. I don't know if you'd call him an expert, but he's certainly involved in the trucking business in the county and heavy equipment, and that's what I understood, that they'd like to have somebody, that understood that type of business.
Right.
If they could, could, and I can't think of anybody better than him to fill that spot, so.
Right.
I would think I would want to support his nomination, but.
And Danny did express that, and we talked about it. For me, both individuals would be a great service to the
Agree.
board. For me, it came down to the district. If we could get equal representation throughout the county, but I mean, obviously.
I think the statutes refer to equal representation, KRS, and I know the previous board here, the commissioners and so forth, back when the last board member was appointed there, they thought that was taking place when Donald Copeland was placed on that board, and he lives very close to the 3rd District, but he does not live in the 3rd District. And I know Marvin Stokes would be a very good, he's conscientious, he's retired, he's got the time to put in, and he's interested in his community, and I would like to see Marvin Stokes and the 3rd District have a representative on that board.
I'll make a motion for Marvin Stokes to be appointed to the Refuse Board. Is there a
Second motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oh,
Motion carries. Next, under old business, approve the minutes for March 15th and March 19th.
move to approve the minutes, Judge.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, under old business, ordinance 201602, budget amendment, second reading.
Ordinance 2016-02, an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the County of Marshall has received additional funds in the amount of $1,201,443.81 are appropriated throughout the receipts budget and as well as in the expenditure budget. The amounts added to the revenue and expenditure accounts in Section 1 are for governmental purposes.
We'll entertain a motion to approve the budget amendment, second reading.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is Andy here? I see Andy. Next on the agenda under old business is going to be the telecom audit. Jeff, are you going to talk about that?
Yes. I have met with the gentleman who conducted the audit, and he has turned his files over to me for, this is where they're at the point where we're looking at litigation, and based on his investigation, we have a couple of circuits that go back approximately 9 years that were disconnected. I think the best we can tell, they were connected the old district courtroom to the sheriff's office, and we paid for them during this time, and there's been no activity. So we're kind of at a standstill right now with AT&T. They've asked for something where they were told to disconnect it from us, and our position is that it's really not relevant if it didn't exist in the first, if it was disconnected and we paid for it. So we're at the point where I'm going to ask for permission to go ahead and make that request of AT&T, and then if past that, if litigation is necessary, I'll be back before the court.
Did the people that did the audit, I assume that they tried to negotiate themselves with AT&T, and it's.
Yes.
it's,
Yeah, they went
come
through
to an impasse.
the entire review process with them and exchanged documentation, and basically what I gave you was a summary of what they came up with. And I think there may be an offer of couple $1,000s right now. And
It's quite significant, isn't it? And that's not the only incident that,
right,
my
it could be,
understanding that audit, it's-
$50,000 to $100,000.
it's big numbers, yeah.
Right. So,
So that one line doesn't, or that you referred to, doesn't account for $100,000 or $50,000, does it? There's much more.
well, yeah, there's more to the overall audit,
Right.
but that is the basic issue that it's in dispute right now.
Okay. They're not disputing the rest of it?
Well, there hasn't been any offer in addition. to
Oh,
what they
okay.
do. So, I know that there's another entity that has filed suit over the same sort of issue, and AT&T has removed that to federal court for litigation. So we may be on that same track. I'm not sure until I make the demand of them, but I'll get a summary of everything and bring copies for you all.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the Paducah Power contract. Andy, you want to brief us on that?
This is just to formalize all of our data connections between this building and the judicial building, and then this will also be for our internet. It's just a formality to get everything straightened out with our billing systems.
Anybody got any questions? Would entertain a motion to approve the Paducah Power contract.
Make that motion, Judge.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on their old business is going to be the annual bids. I'm sorry, it's going to be the bids on the Calvert City property. Do you have that, Brian? This was the old health department there in Calvert City. If you remember, it was the health department, the hospital, and the fiscal court. We had the deed to it. All entities voted to put it up for sealed bids.
Yeah, this ad for sale was ran in the Marshall County Tribune Courier, Benton, Kentucky, Tuesday, February 23rd, 2016, and it reads as follows: Marshall County Fiscal Court. The Marshall County Fiscal Court will be accepting sealed bids until 9 a.m. on Tuesday, April 5th, 2016, during the hours of 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the office of the County Judge Executive, 1101 Main Street, Benton, Kentucky, 42025, for the following: a tract of land and brick building located at 511 East 5th Avenue, Calvert City, Kentucky, 42049. The building was formerly used as a doctor's office and has a total floor area of 3,004 square feet. Bids will be open during the court meeting on Tuesday, April 5th, 2016. Marshall County Fiscal Court reserves the right to reject any and all bids. One bid came in prior to that time, which at 8:20 on April 5th, and however, we chose to wait till today to open it. I would like to bid $37,501 on the Calvert City property located at 511 East 5th Street, Clint Conrad, 814 Mayfield Highway, Benton, Kentucky, 270-703-9967. It's signed and dated by Clint Conrad. And that is your only bid.
37 what?
$37,501.
Both the Board of Health and the hospital, basically, they left it up to us to decide. So I don't think there's any objection from either one of the boards. They pretty much told us to bid it out, and there it is. We got one bid.
Knowing the history of it, and each of those three entities that were just named paid $40,000. So 10 years ago, the previous body paid, was that about right, 10 years ago? My recollection, $120,000. We got one bid. Might need to go another route. I would suggest reject the one bid. I think it's more, I helped the senior citizens last week, and Jeff has drawn up the deed, a building very similar and not as near good a shape, and it's sold for $40,000, and it's not zoned. The other building's zoned in residential, and this is in a commercial zone and in 10 times better shape than the other building. So I don't think that's, I think you can do better. I think we can do better. Obviously, we just had one bid.
Do we do sealed bids? Do we do auction?
Well, we just did the seal bid. I don't think that didn't go, and there wasn't enough interest in that, but.
Is it only advertised in a local paper?
Yeah,
We put it on our Facebook page too.
Okay.
With pictures and location. And we had a lot of people view it, but no real interest as far as inquiries about the building. Just from that individual, actually, was the only one that contacted the office about it.
Awful low bid.
I mean, if we want to try another option, I mean, now when we get
I know
into,
we can get more. I guarantee we get more out of it. I've talked to several different people that I don't know why they didn't bid, but of course this body has the right to reject all bids and so forth. And,
Right.
And there's the building is worth more than that. I'm not going to do it for conflict of interest, but I
Sure.
would give more than $37,000 for the building.
Sure. What, I guess my question would be, what other platform would we use? Absolute auction, try the sealed bids again, try to get it out?
Just go, if you're gonna get rid of it, then just do it on an absolute auction if you're not gonna take that bid. So, I mean, that was, he put his bid in, but if that's not acceptable, then I'd put it up, because that's something we can do, isn't it? You'll have an auction fee,
You mean just sell it at the
10%
courthouse
plus
door you're talking
advertising.
about?
Do what?
Sell it at the courthouse door, is that what
No,
you're talking
I'm
about?
talking about having an auction,
Having a,
contact an auctioneer service and letting them advertise it. It'll cost you 10% plus the advertising generally is what the charges are. If you want to do that, that'll get, but it won't drag it out. I mean, you can drag it out with a realtor, I guess, long term, but I mean, you can do an absolute auction, that'll take care of it.
Are we allowed by law, Jeff, to bring quotes, or if somebody makes an offer on it, back to us before we put it in real estate hands? I mean, I know people that will give more than that for it.
Well, I mean, you still have to offer it in a way, you know,
Right.
I mean, we're going to have to map out how we're going to ultimately sell it.
Would that be try again with sealed bids, or see if we
Well,
can?
you can do that, or you can, like Bob said, you can have a straight-up auction.
You know what somebody's offered now, I mean, people go, if you're gonna be open about it, then let them go out there and have an open bidding process and stand there and give what they'll give.
It just cost us 10% more
Yeah.
in that process.
Well, if you know contacts that will give more than that, why don't we just run it in the paper again and then let them, make their bids? I
We
don't know
can-
why I'm like you, I don't know why they didn't in the first place.
I
I
don't
don't
either.
either.
I
That's
Why don't-
just,
thing.
Why don't we entertain a motion to deny? I'll entertain a motion to deny the bid.
I'll make
The bid
that
we got.
motion.
Is there a second?
Deny.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. As far as the bids, we'll just go back, Brad, and we'll just put it together and put out another advertisement for sealed bids. And
I'd hate to have an auction and it brought 35 and then lose
Yeah.
10% of that.
yeah. I say we just try it again. New business.
I think you probably need a vote to do that.
To do.
to rebid it.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
So
to
moved.
Rebid, is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, you'll see that the ADS security, we're only looking at the quote for the fire and burglary system. For this building here, you can see where they gave us a quote, $11,530.50, equipment and install, $39.95 monthly service. This includes no charge for any service calls and replacement if any equipment should be malfunction or go out. Basically, in this facility, our fire system is out, so we have to take action on that. We had them come in and take a look at the structure of the facility, and you can see the rest of the quote that they gave us, but we just felt with budget issues, obviously with the law and the requirements that we have to be in, the guidelines. I know Scott, who's a firefighter, we had him go through it as well too and look at some additional stuff. So, so for this contract, all we're looking at is the quote for fire and burglary system.
Did we get any more quotes besides this one outfit?
No.
I mean, is that competitive? I don't have any idea if that's
It's a good question. I
competitive.
don't know.
I mean, until you get quotes from like people in the business, I don't know that, I mean,
We were looking.
I have no idea. I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't either.
Anybody that-
We were looking at the security of the infrastructure, and in the process, we found that obviously we were out of compliance, so. But as far as getting a second quote, we
Well,
didn't.
I don't doubt the need for it.
I mean, we can.
I know there's a need for it.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's something we have to act on, but if we want to do another business out there to see if we can get a better quote.
Have we done business with, county done business for this outfit before? Anybody know? I mean,
We have, but I know we've talked to different, I know Scott uses them and is very pleased, and when we when we met with them originally, they did a very thorough job in going through the building and identifying what we needed and the different things in the, so that's why we didn't go after another vendor just for that fact. But yeah, we've gotten really good recommendations about this company.
That's my only concern, that where it's, you get a reputable company, and obviously I recognize the name, but I just didn't know that if we had bid it elsewhere. I have no problem if they're reputable, and the need is, no doubt the need's there.
Andy on the third floor especially. I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, on the new business, the sanitation district appointment. The name that was given to me from the individual that lives in the district is Jason Pickard. He's a business owner there. Mike Layton, who's the operator out there, is actually going to train him as well to be an operator. But he has stepped up and said that he would be on the board. Again, it's a small district, not too many people to choose from, but he is in that district and he's stepped up to be on the board.
I'd make a motion that we place him on the board, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And then next under new business, Johnny, do you want to talk about this, the surplus?
I went out there to inventory that, and since I was out there last time, they've now locked the building. It's been open for 2 years. I've got to find out who locked it and who's got the key to it. There's a good, it's either 8 or 10-foot range hood. It's just brand new. And I've got people interested in it, but they want to buy it where it's at, whoever buys it. They
Right.
don't want it to be removed because it said you tear it up if you don't know what you're doing. There's like 12 walk-up coolers that 6 foot, there's 4-footers, 6-footers, 6 foot tall, chest-type freezer. There's a lot of good items in there, but I went yesterday to inventory them, and I got to get a key from.
I think Tech talked
He
to
locked it
a
up.
previous owner, and he asked for, I think he was asking on how to get in there. But there was a door in the back that
Right, that's the one I went to.
you could get in. I don't think it was secure. So I don't know if maybe he went back and secured it.
He did, because before it was no trouble to open. It
Okay.
looked like it was locked, but it's locked up tight now.
Okay. We'll
I'll
get-
talk to Tick, see if
Yeah.
he's got the key.
But as far as the items in there, the surplus, I mean, we're not using it. We do own the building and everything in it. We had talked about doing like a countywide surplus with all of our departments and their surplus equipment. But if there's a business that's wanting to get in there and get some of the items, I don't have a problem with, if there's equipment out there we're not using surplus.
Range hood's new. It's never been used. It was put in when they was gonna open it as a restaurant, and they never did.
And I don't think that they ever, I don't know if they ever approached, I thought they did anyway. One time we had actually, I think it approached Marcella's Kitchen to see if they thought they might be able to use it, but I don't think that anything ever become of that. I guess they're a
That's not
little
what
more
the-
centrally located now than they would be there, and I don't know, anyway, that's the only thing that I know of we ever discussed doing with it, other than just having it there because of the trash station there behind it. That's why it was purchased, because we didn't want to have to try to move that. We've been into many situations where moving one of those collection spots has been difficult to do.
Is the hood that's out there, that's not what the Miller Park's looking for, is it?
No, well,
That type of-
it's the same type, but we got one donated to us.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, obviously, how long has the county had that building set out there? Obviously, it's not,
In several years, I
Yeah.
remember.
Tech has gone out there, he's looked at it, and there's some items that even if it doesn't get surplus, can at least be cleaned up and scrapped. So,
There's no way to guarantee if those coolers still work either. There's no power to test them. Just have to sell them as is.
I entertain a motion, I don't have any objections.
I think you need to, when you make the motion, you need to have a list of them.
List of items? Okay, we'll do an inventory first then.
I'll get a hold of Tex. Surely he's got the key.
Next, under new business, will be the annual bids. Brad, you want to take?
Yeah, so I've been in communication with both cities, Calvert City and Benton, trying to do an annual bid with them included. So I've gotten lists from both of them and also from the county. Greg Northcutt from Calvert is going to create an interlocal agreement, as well as Marty Johnson from Benton, stating that when, if they're included in this bid process, if they need any of these items, the vendor will bill them directly, and we won't act as a third party and the middleman between the city. So I've got I think you guys have a list of all the items. So, if you, what we anticipate is we need to set a date. I think we talked about doing a special call meeting just for the annual bid openings, so that it's more directed towards that. And at that point, what we'll do is, once we set that date, then we can fill in these other dates of when the bids can be received in the office.
that's, I know the city of Calvert City and the city of Benton are very appreciative to that agreement and piggybacking off the county and just in not alcohol, asphalt alone last year, both Calvert City and Benton got bids like $115 a ton, and the county was paying 68. What did we pay?
I think it started at 73. I think right now it's about 70.
But that's a $40 a ton savings, and save both those in Marshall County entities several $1,000s, and they're all Marshall County taxpayers, so I know they're appreciative, and that's the way to do it.
I would entertain a motion for the annual bids for advertisement.
Make that motion, we put out the annual bids, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Do you want to go ahead and set that special call for opening that? I think we were looking towards the, looking at maybe towards the last Tuesday in May 24th. That'll give us an opportunity to send it to the media for advertisement. It'll start next Tuesday and then run all the way up till people can submit their bids by the end of business day on May 23rd. And then we would hold our special call meeting on the 24th. So if you guys, if that date works for you, or if not, we can look at a different one.
I've got a meeting at 3 o'clock that afternoon.
Okay.
I would think that surely
We
we'll be
should-
done.
First thing in the morning.
Yeah, surely we'll be done before then.
On the 24th?
Yes.
So our special call meeting is going to be Tuesday, May 24th at,
9:30. That work for everybody?
okay, let me ask on the stuff like asphalt, is that going to be soon enough, Russell?
This will be,
If not, we'll use this year.
well, we use this year's till we bid.
These rates will go into effect July 1.
Oh, that's right,
They
okay.
won't go into
yeah.
effect. They won't
Yeah,
go into
okay, to
July.
the other bid, okay.
So if we go for May 24th, I'll put the the advertisement in for sealed bids on the items listed below until 4 PM on May 23rd. So they can submit bids up until the end of business on Monday.
It's at 9:30.
9:30. Jeff, do you want to talk, under new business, review of the adult entertainment ordinance? Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. I noticed that in the late news last week, the Calvert City Council was discussing reviewing and possibly updating the adult entertainment ordinance. The way that we did that several years ago, the city of Benton, Calvert City and the county and the city of Hardin all went together and created a adult entertainment ordinance so it would be uniform across the county. And we used the same individual then, the person that the city of Calvert has agreed. He is an expert on it. His name is Scott Bergdahl, and I think he's from Chattanooga. What is required of that is that you have to review studies and facts in how adult entertainment affects the communities. And he has that information and has it in a form so it can be presented to you and in an organized way so that you can have a basis for creating these ordinances. And according to what I read in the paper, I haven't talked to Greg Northcutt, but apparently they are making contact with him and setting up this review to possibly update our ordinance. And we had talked some about this last year. It had been several years since the court enacted that ordinance. And I think given that we have voted wet since then, it would probably be a good idea to spend the money. I don't have an idea of what it would cost, what the cost is now. I think back then our part when we first created it was about $3,000 or $4,000. I don't know what, I'd have to make contact and get that, but I would suggest strongly that we pursue that so that we can keep the ordinance uniform across the county.
Do we need to get Benton and Hardin involved then, too?
I'm going to suggest the same to them.
Yeah, that was drafted by Calvert City and I guess the county at the same time when Calvert City went moist 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that you can control the negatives of alcohol associated with alcohol, which is that is one, and instead of it controlling you. And Calvert City, I know at their last council meeting, with the advice of Greg Northcutt, had voted to update and review those ordinances, which you need to do from time to time, but it needs to be countywide, consistent countywide. I think that's a good idea, and we need to participate and do a little housekeeping.
All right.
Do you need
Yeah, I need
direction from this body for you to contact the other entities?
Right, and go ahead and
I'll
I'll get the
put that in the
prices
form of a motion.
and make sure we're doing it at the same time they are.
Entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item, we need to schedule a budget workshop before May 3rd. We've been, when I say we, me, Emily, and Brad have been sitting down and going over the budget. May 3rd is our next fiscal court meeting. We feel that we need to sit down do a workshop over the budget, sit down with the department heads before then. Had a meeting pop up, I have on the calendar for tomorrow, but I had a meeting pop up in my office at 1. We can do in the morning time, or we can do the 21st.
Tomorrow would probably be best to, I need to clean up some things on it still.
Okay, well, then we'll scratch tomorrow.
21st?
This Thursday. And why don't we look at also, I suspect it may be longer than one day, and then give the other department heads time to,
What
We-
time on everybody okay with the 21st?
well, we're gonna, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, the 21st.
What time?
We can do 8:30. The earlier we start, I think.
As early as we can start, or whenever, it'd be better for me.
I agree. All right,
I can start, can you start earlier than that?
Anytime.
we can start at 8 if you want.
Fine with me.
Suits me.
O'clock? Okay.
8 o'clock, this Thursday.
This Thursday. Then we
And we're
went
going to have the
ahead.
department heads in, so
Right.
they hear at the same time we do.
Do you all want to, do we want to
Do you wanna
have
sit down with
department?
them?
Yeah, do we want to go over it with the commissioners prior to discussing it with the department heads, or do we want to do it all at the same time?
We can go over it with the commissioners that morning, and then we can schedule, we even.
There you go.
We even, later in the afternoon, we even got Monday, the 25th, I think the 26th.
I'm out. that
I,
next week.
both Bob and I are going to be gone the next week.
The whole next week.
I'll be in Jackson,
Let's see.
training emergency responders.
We got a meeting tomorrow, too.
Mm-hmm. Today, planning and zoning.
What time's it start?
9 to 5.
Well, we can,
Into anything, we could, I mean, I don't know, the second, of course, we can do it this second on Monday, is that?
Come back before the
Something we need
meeting.
to do, but, or we can, I mean,
Come
I'll
about
be
the-
here Friday, I can,
well, I believe, let's see, May 30th is Memorial Day, right? What about,
What?
oh, wait a minute,
No, you're in the wrong
I'm in the
month.
wrong month.
Memorial
25th.
Day.
25th, you guys are gonna be gone that week, right?
I'll be gone.
I will too.
We got May 2nd. If we wanna get together May 2nd.
I can.
Clear.
If we need to, I don't know what we can decide, can't we? We can decide.
We can decide after
We can-
21st, we
21st.
can decide if we
Yeah.
need to meet again.
We can adjust, but at least have it scheduled. So we'll just
So,
have a
on-
second.
This is the first, and then this will be the first, this will be,
Like-
have other meeting, I mean, we can have some other meetings if we need to. It's really, we've got to get it in when, but June 1st, or? is
Well,
that, or-
if we get it to DLG,
Right.
then that way, if we get it ahead of time, we'll be better off because they're gonna get a lot more. We don't have to approve it until later on in June.
Right, that's what I mean, then we can actually make some changes.
What's the
If something
drop
comes
dead
up.
date to get it to DLG?
There is no drop dead date to get it to DLG, but the sooner the better.
We used to try to do it
We used-
early in May, whenever,
yeah.
sometime between the 1st and the 15th. we
Yeah.
tried to get it there.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to have at least the first reading, the first meeting in May. Just to get it signed and sent off to DLG. We can still be working on it. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a final draft at that
Yeah.
point, but
So we'll just do the 21st. If we need another day, we'll figure it out.
I'll try to, we could go over it with them in the morning, and maybe I can see which department heads could be available Thursday afternoon and try to schedule a couple of them.
So we're talking about this Thursday at 8 o'clock with just the commissioners. And so we're talking about an all-day deal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I mean, it'll take approximately how long to go over it with us? I know that.
That's gonna depend
based
on
Yeah,
y'all.
that morning, I mean,
Based on,
I'd like to think we could
Yeah.
go over it that morning, but it depends on how many
so
questions you
not
all
have
have.
the department heads until the afternoon?
Yeah.
So we have a halfway understanding and an agreement that this is the direction that we want to go. So, and then we plan on.
Is there anything
that
we could
afternoon.
review before that, or do we have anything we could look at? Or do you-
When I get it
Still-
cleaned up, I will.
You're still in the cleanup
Yeah,
process.
I've got 18 cents somewhere that is throwing me off.
Well, now that's aggravating.
Yes, it is. So I'm going through the spreadsheet, trying to find where that 18 cents is. It's because the numbers are supposed to round, and one of those cells is not rounding, so.
As long as it's not 18 million. Okay, so the 21st at 08.
Right here. Obviously, we have to, budget workshop, all of us together, we have to advertise.
If you announce it and set it today in an open meeting.
Oh, we do not have to. Is that correct? We're within the law, okay.
Good.
We're good.
We'll move on new business, approve the treasurer's report.
Sorry, I'm scheduling department heads in my mind. Treasurer's report for March 31st, 2016. We had a book balance of $1,068,341.12. Road fund, $231,257.43. Jail fund, $254,928.71. Grant fund, $1,161.38. 911 fund, $4,324.65. Occupational tax administrator, $3,294,067.10. Veterans van fund, $3,870.37. ABC fund, $23,859.26. Building inspection fund, $24,499.73, for a total reporting funds of $4,906,309.75.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report, subject to audit.
Make that motion, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approve the encumbrance report.
Our encumbrance report for March 31st, 2016, general fund had an encumbered balance of $83,573.57. Road fund, $99,877.92. Jail fund, $17,670.56. 911, $622.93, and ABC, $355.27, for a total of $202,100.25.
Entertain a motion to approve the encumbrance report.
Make the motion to approve, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Approve the quarterly report.
Quarterly report reflects the same numbers as the treasurer's report and the encumbrance report. On page 2, bottom right corner, you'll notice it has the same balance of $4,906,309.75. That shows you that it balances the other reports.
Make a motion to approve the quarterly report.
So
subject
moved,
to audit.
Judge.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is approve the appropriations transfer report.
The appropriation transfers report does list all of the transfers in and out of departments. There are a few transfers from reserves. The budget amendment that you all approved prior to now, just a little while ago, cleaned up put funds in the sheriff's budget and a lot of those, so this is also putting the reserves back where they were.
Okay, this is putting the reserves back the way they were. What's in reserve right now?
So
There's some big
after,
numbers in the
yeah,
transfer
at
column.
the
and-
end, actually, the bottom of page 1, that's the last transfer out of reserves, which makes it, that's the last out, so that'll leave your balance of $321,624.05 in reserves.
Okay, where did we gain those reserves? A month ago, we had $1,500 in reserve.
Right. Right, we
I'm just
gained-
wondering where that money came
Yeah,
from.
and prior to.
I mean,
the
that's good
fif-
news.
Right, and prior to the 1,500, we were at like 127.
Right.
So it comes from those other items that were listed on that budget amendment.
Right,
that are
I
not-
understood that.
That are not appropriated out in that budget amendment to be spent, so that's where the
So
gain comes
they
from.
went in with that motion or that action
Mm-hmm.
earlier in this meeting, and they're going out again with this action.
Yes, just a few of them, and you can see,
It looks like some big numbers in there.
yes, there
Hey.
are. There's 23,500 that covers the inspector's fees and general fund. That's a housekeeping thing. There's no dollars gonna be spent there. Then we also have some,
Oh, I'm not questioning what it's
Okay.
spent for, I'm just questioning, I just wondered where we didn't have any monies, and our $1,500 doesn't go very far as reserves. and-
right.
But
The-
the action earlier deposited money in reserve, and we're just taking it out of that. That's,
yeah.
I
The other
have no
major,
problem with that. I
the other
understand
major
that.
things are, covering the Benton Oak Level Pump project that is in limbo.
The custom pump that was ordered, about $62,000. Then we had electrical, we had an electrician down there doing work. We've got Benton, we're in talks with Benton to get an interlocal agreement. Obviously, Brian Flynn is down there now, trying to get an assessment of the project. Those bills are sitting on our desk, so we felt that Bobby Gifford was an extension of this court. That pump was ordered, it's ours, $62,000. Instead of letting that bill sit and draw interest, we'd go ahead and pay it. The electrical work that was being completed or done, we've got some electrical supplies that were purchased. There was no agreement as to who was going to be paying what. We're down there doing work. It even, when you talk to the engineer that had Benton doing the piping, and they hadn't planned on doing the piping. So for these bills, we felt that it was important to go ahead and pay now. There's still some electrical work that needs to be done. The pump has to be put in. We're going to work with Benton on doing an interlocal agreement to where next fiscal year we'll budget for that. That work will be done. As far as the fiscal court's responsibility, that needs to be worked out with Benton. But once we're done, that project should be on its way, and Benton will assume their responsibility as far as what they got to do to complete that project. But we put that in there. I don't feel that we should put debt service to the taxpayers. That decision was made before I got here, but I think we need to pay those bills before we go any further. So
Majority of those are local contractors, I agree, and I'd heard some discussion or discontent that those bills hadn't been paid, and I have no problem doing that. They're all local contractors, and the majority of them are, and waiting to be paid. I have no problem with that at all. Just wanted to make sure we had money in the reserve to
Yeah.
transfer out,
Right.
because
Yes,
I have
because
no
there wasn't
problem
prior
with,
to, yeah.
with that whatsoever. We need to do that.
and I talked to DLG just on this issue. They're supposed to get back with me. I'm waiting on word from them. But it appears that $107,500 was going to be an additional loan, it looks like it was presented to us as if it was going to be a continuation of the existing project. So I'm trying to get word from DLG to advise me on that. So that's why we felt we needed to, another reason why we need to pay that to those contractors. Has anybody got any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the appropriations transfer report.
Make that motion, Judge.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, approve the intra-fund transfer.
I'm asking your Approval to move 44,000 out of occupational tax administrator to the 911 fund and 300,000 out of occupational tax administrator to the road fund. Both are budgeted subsidies.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, approve payment of the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills, Judge.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I've got one other item before
When you skip a meeting, there is a bunch of them,
executive
too.
session. It's come to my attention that there's a speed issue in regard to Cone Drive. I think Commissioner Boland has witnessed it and understand that the speed out there on that new road, that's the road behind the hospital just built. And he's asked me to propose an ordinance. With your permission, this would be ordinance number 2016-03, being ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County, Commonwealth, Kentucky, in accordance with the provisions of set forth in KRS 189.3905A and based on the request of affected citizens and after review by the Marshall County Road Superintendent, the Marshall County Fiscal Court does hereby set the speed limit at 25 miles per hour for Cone Drive located in Marshall County, Kentucky. And that would be the first reading of that ordinance.
What's the present speed limit?
55 now.
On 55?
It's not designated, it's 55.
Just because it's not marked and it just comes in as 55, is that the?
They're
Give you-
trying to do 55 on it, too.
Give you a report on the World Championship Bow Fishing Tournament that they had over the weekend. Was a success, had 54 three-man teams. It's a team out of Arkansas, they won. They do numbers, which is just as many fish as you can bring in the boat. And then they do the Big 20, which is the weight of the largest 20 fish you bring in. So the Arkansas team won with numbers with 1,071, and the Big 20 was come in with 804 pounds. And I think that was a local team that won the Big 20.
Wow.
Yeah, that was,
Jeremiah, wasn't it?
yeah, it was Jeremiah
That's
Redden.
Yeah. So anyway, we got some local guys that got in the middle of that, so that's good.
One thing I forgot on the correspondence put on there, this weekend, the Kentucky Lake Friends of the NRA are having a 2016 dinner and auction. Starts at 5:30 at the Kentucky Dam Village. So they'll have raffles, auctions, and dinner. Ticket prices, I think, $35, and for two, you can get it for $60. So that's this weekend.
Judge, I have one more. I know you hate I hate throwing stuff on there, but this Friday, there'll be an Earth Day cleanup at the Sled Creek location, the boat ramp. Starts at 10, goes till 12. I don't know if you've been out to that location, but it's got a lot of potential. I've been working with TVA. They've done some stuff, and we're going to go in an agreement with them. We already kind of have an agreement to maintain it, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Anybody that can be involved with that Earth Day cleanup, that would be a good thing. But it's going to be from 10 to 12, and they're going to provide a lunch at noon. So
All right.
that's it.
Moving on the new business, KRS 61810, exceptions to open meetings, subsection 1, section F. I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for personnel for appointment and termination.
So moved, Judge.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries. This court back to order. Due to legal having to go, Jeff going to court. He's gotta go to the court.
You are right, Judge.
You got
Continue.
a funeral.
Don't interrupt.
Oh, your fault.
Now that we're back in order, I would entertain a motion to recess
Make
till
that
3
motion.
o'clock. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, motion carries. Bring Marshall County Fiscal Court back into session. April 19th, 2016, entertain a motion to go back into executive session from previously, earlier this morning. Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bring Morris County Fiscal Court back in the session. Read this is from the Parks Department. The Parks Board Chairman, Morris County Parks Board met to consider the recommendation for directors of park from the selected hiring committee. The committee recommended that Dennis Faust be hired as the new Morris County Parks Director. It is without reservation and with a unanimous decision that we recommend Dennis Faust to the Fiscal Court for this position. Sincerely, Danny Nelson, Chairman. With the information that we had, as far as the process, I think it was a great process. There were candidates, there were at least, including Dennis, there were 3 overall that were Kyle Johnson and Cleve Carey, and they did a phenomenal job. All the candidates did a phenomenal job, but they made it very difficult. But I will entertain a motion to select Dennis Faust as the Parks Director.
I'll make that motion, Judge, on the
Second.
recommendation of the Parks Board, and I'd like to have comment after we vote
Sure.
also. I'll make that motion.
Need to have the salary included?
I mean, we already
That's what-
discussed.
Let's get it on the floor, then have a,
Yeah.
let's get it on the,
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
I think that if it's the recommended, it's going to be public record
Yeah.
right.
anyway. If you've advised, there's a consensus. I mean, you can put it on the record here, or it'll be public record as soon as you do it anyway.
But, and, you know, we have discussed that, and I
Right.
just think it needs to be made public.
Sure.
Based on,
Be sure that the
right,
judge is okay with
right.
it.
And that's what we discussed, and that's what, my understanding is what he told us down there. But there's been a vote and a second. Can we
Yes.
continue the discussion? The past director at Mike Miller Park, total package, total $70,000, which roughly $55,000 of that was base pay. And like I say, the entire package was valued at $70,000. We had discussed with the new director and Dennis at a base pay of $48,000. Is that, and in his position, previous position as circuit court judge, he is not allowed, he's already got insurance, it won't cost the county a penny insurance, and even the comp out of insurance that you know, some employers are paid, he does not he is not allowed to do that. It's my understanding. Dennis, is that not right? So that is $15,000 savings to the county, plus the base pay of $55,000 going to $48,000, so that's another, so we're gonna be better off with our new park director. This county's gonna be $22,000 better off and have an attorney, administrator, and somebody that will do a good job, hopefully.
Some
There-
think that's good.
There is a,
That's a
If we have-
$22,000
Yes.
savings.
if we have an employee that waives coverage, though, the county has a policy that they give $175 a month on a HRA.
He can't do
Can't do
it.
it.
He cannot do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Because of my retirement system, it's not allowed.
Right.
Okay.
It's just not
And
allowed.
We can,
because that's different, I wish you'd at least look at seeing if we do still have to pay that employee, or our portion of the retirement
We will.
county employee, but
The only one that we don't is on reemployed retired sheriff's deputies like Dave.
I knew that was,
But we'll-
normally, that's what I
we'll-
understood, but I
yeah.
didn't realize that the judges had such a separate health care
Yeah.
and retirement program.
Yeah,
And as I told you all, I don't know if I need to speak. If I don't, I won't. But I'm not interested in retirement benefits. Okay, I mean,
but they will charge us if we have to pay it, and then
Yeah,
they
that's
will,
fine.
yeah. Well, they won't give them to you. They just keep them for themselves.
But regardless of that fact, whether that's one way or the other,
Right.
the other savings from what we were paying the past director, what we're going to be paying the new director, is $22,000 savings to this county on that one position.
Right.
Do you know
Regardless
if
of
you
that,
were
that is gravy.
to go to work in the private sector, if you were to be offered some kind of health benefits, are you required to waive any of those then as well?
Now, I don't know. It's,
Okay.
I just know when it comes to.
Governmental?
Governmental, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
yes.
And that is an addition to the employment side. We're bringing another attorney on staff, so that way if there were ever any legal opinions or work that needs to be done with the parks, it's right up your alley. So that's an addition.
But he would be effectively working for me.
He would be working for you, yes. Right, right. And just to add too, because of the nature of the timing, this year's scheduled events and everything is already in place. So it's really, a lot of work this year is going to be for next year's, setting it up. Okay. All right, well, there was a motion, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
No.
Any opposed? No. Motion carries. The next item that we talked about was, as the court knows, I terminated Wendy Baxter. It is my responsibility as the judge executive to bring that to the fiscal court for the final approval. It's brought to my attention that there might have been some miscommunication with the attorney that she has, but the intent was to notify them yesterday that today we would be discussing through her appeal process. Somehow that got mixed up. We don't know the details of it, but apparently she was going to come, but then her attorney had court and told her not to come. So what we're going to do is my responsibility is to bring it to the fiscal court. We have already agreed to meet Thursday. We have a budget workshop at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to reach out to her attorney again and notify them that at 09 Thursday, we will have a special meeting, special hearing, and then that will go into executive session to hear her appeal for her employment. So, do we need to take a motion for setting that special hearing for Thursday?
No, I mean, I think it's your duty to set that.
Set it, okay. That'll take
So
care.
those two things are the only thing on the agenda for Thursday, a budget workshop, and at 9 o'clock, a special session. Give the attorney a second chance to
Yes.
make that appeal.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
And Brad and I will prepare that notice that will be immediately forwarded to council.
Okay. With that said, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Who adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, motion carries.